So I'm going to apologize in advance because you may hear my cat Nevi do that. She just meowed really loud. But you are probably gonna hear her in the background because she is deciding that tonight, of all nights, she's going to be exceptionally vocal. So update, I'm alive! Ha! It's been a minute since I uploaded last, I think. I don't remember what date. I can check or something later, and I'll put it like in the bio. I'll be like, lol, it was months ago, or like something like that. I still do art. I'm still very much like active on like as much social media as I really can take. I just haven't recorded a speed paint or a voiceover or anything kind of like that. She's mad because I'm not giving her any more wet food because she ran out. She has dry food. She just treats wet food like CRACK. Yeah, I think I can get away with just spelling it. YouTube, don't ban me. She's kind of addicted to it, and she got her children, the kittens, addicted to it too. I guess technically I did, because I wanted them to try wet food before they transferred to dry food, because they're still, like, young, and I heard that trying wet food is a lot easier to get them to at least find, like, where the bowl is, and then slowly start getting them to eat dry food, like, specifically kitten-oriented dry food. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, so enough about my cat. Where have I been? I have been homeless. If you guys didn't know, I have been homeless since June of maybe a little bit after. I think it was like middle June of 2023, so it's almost been a year. I lost the house I was living in, the apartment, because I'm waiting for my disability to get accepted, because from all sides of the medical professions, they all sincerely think that I should be on disability, so I've been applying and I've been going to court through a program for roughly a little over 2 years now, probably. Which has been very tiresome. I've been refused so much, but now I actually have a solid autism diagnosis that I've been waiting for quite a while. I saw a specialist that they ordered, so then there was like no way that it could be like a bias or a fake diagnosis from like an outside source, like you pay someone for a diagnosis, because I guess that's a thing that happens. I don't know. So they had me go through a lot of mental strain, going to appointments and trying to keep up while financially struggling, not being able to drive and being disabled, which, as you can guess, kind of sucks. So when I officially got re-diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder for the third time now, from their professional, like the SSI state, non-biased, psychological evaluator, whatever you want to call them, specialist. I really don't know. I just live here, man. I got diagnosed with a lot of things, DID being one of them. The one that we kind of already knew about, which was the push to kind of get me on disability, because I can't hold down, I'm one of those, unfortunate DID cases where I can't hold down a job because of how unpredictable and how chaotic it is, and I've been in therapy programs for 11 or 12 years of my life, and it's not gotten better. And then I was also diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, major, and then a second time with persistent, so major persistent or major and persistent depressive disorder, which kind of sucks. Panic and somatization disorder, and major health anxiety. I don't know if it's on there as major, but they said that I have pretty severe health anxiety, which explains why I constantly feel like I'm, constant state of crisis all the time. And then I went to a separate person that I ended up waiting, I think it was like 8 months for an appointment with him. And he was great. He was really nice. And he does neurodevelopmental and all that kind of stuff for young adults, and I think teens too, and then adults. And at the time I was 19 or 20. I think I was 20. So yeah. And that was back in like September, maybe a little bit before early September-ish, because that was when my hearing was, and we were waiting on his results, which took like a week and a half. And then they ended up refusing that, even though in his notes and the audio or whatever that they had, he was very adamant that I did have dissociative identity disorder, and then also that I had autism, that I was on the spectrum, along with potentially other things, and then the obvious like dyscalculia, dyslexia, because they did like developmental things as well. So like I had to read a bunch of stuff, I had to do math and try to remember faces and patterns, which was hard. And in his notes, and what he kind of relayed as much as he can, was that he was surprised I wasn't diagnosed in youth, which I guess is further proof that I'm not, full of it, when I mentioned that I was kind of medically neglected a lot as a kid, which sucks. But I just kind of wanted to update that I lost my home because I couldn't work, and my partner got in a car accident. Is alive. He's totally fine. The car got totaled, but he was totally okay. A little bit of bruising, like in his ribs, but other than that, it was all fine. But we went through a lot, and then he ended up losing a job because he relied on his vehicle for it. He was a door-to-door, and he had to drive to these places, and he couldn't do that anymore because he didn't have a car, and then he lost his license for other reasons that I will not go into because of, his privacy, and also just he doesn't like to talk about it. He has it back now, so I guess it's fine, but it's very sad that it took a little over a year to get it back because of things that we couldn't control. And then when he got another job, it just was barely paying enough, and it was about to hit winter, and we had this RV with very little insulation that we paid way too much money for from a guy. He bought it for like $2,000 or $3,000. I think it was $2,000, and then he told us that we could have it for $5,000, and then we figured out later that the price was $2,000, and we didn't really say anything because we didn't want to start a fight. But we couldn't afford the $5,000, and we could have barely afforded the $2,000. We couldn't actually afford the $2,000 because we saw the RV on, Marketplace. So that kind of sucks that we kind of got like mildly scammed out of $3,000 that could have went towards a park. Not to mention we have, you know, my service animal, and 2 ESAs and they're cats, so it's like, you know, and they're all like papered. There's no like registration or any kind of paper to like prove that they're, you know, a service animal or whatever. I just have my doctor's notes saying that they are, in their eyes, an ESA, and then that my dog is an animal that, you know, does a service for my disability, which in his case would be sniffing when my heart rate's too high, and when I'm dissociating, or if I'm self-mutilating or stuff like that. Because I'm overstimulated, then he will curb the behavior, and he's a very good boy. He's sleeping right next to me because he's a good dog. Oh, my stomach made a weird noise. So I guess that's the most I can really update. Things are hard right now. My significant other and I had to. We're still like together in a relationship, but we had to separate our living situation because he couldn't find a job down here. I moved back in with my parents with my RV because I couldn't stay in their house. They were gonna turn my old bedroom into my little brother's bedroom, so I couldn't stay there. And also I just figured it'd be too much. And then there's just been a lot of stuff. I've been like barely surviving off of like $40 for groceries, which, if you know, nowadays to get actual groceries, no matter how, you know, morally unaligned the grocery stores are, it doesn't get you a lot. And you can't really, when you can't really afford to, you know, not, you know, when you can't afford to pay for groceries and food from places that do not condone very awful things or don't align with morals or have like too many chemicals and stuff like that, for like your dietary restrictions, there's a lot of hard things. So I always feel really weird talking about where I go shopping, because I feel like despite it being out of my control, I'll be canceled for it, I guess. I don't know. And like, I don't really mind getting canceled for something like that because it's quite literally something I can't control, but it's very icky because I just want to live. I don't want to just constantly be in survival mode. If I could spend XYZ amount, I would get my groceries from places that don't condone bad behaviors and bad organizations. And yeah, I guess that's my 2 cents on that, and a little bit of an insight of where I've been. I'm probably gonna be making more content surrounding my disabilities along with my art, because I know that it's something that people find interesting, is learning about disabilities, and I'm really happy to be a person who can help educate and answer questions about my experiences with my own disabilities, whether that be my experiences with my autism or my somatization, panic disorder. A lot of people are really interested in my DID, which is a nice thing. I like talking about it because, well, I guess I don't like talking about it. It's not like I wake up every morning thinking, oh my god, I can't wait for people to ask me about my DID, but I enjoy kind of forcing myself to accept that that's a thing that I have to live with every day of my life. Because I don't know, it just kind of helps me cope, and it helps me feel like not scared of it, you know? And so I don't think that there's a single thing that you can ask that would be offensive. So I'm just going to leave the comments open for any kind of video recommendations about any of my disorders or diagnosis story. There's a lot of things I won't go through because it's very, very personal and I don't want to like breach the confidentiality or breach, you know, my own personal safety. And so there's a couple things I won't talk about, but I'll be very open about a lot of things because I want to educate and I want to help make it not so scary for myself and a lot of other people. So that's where I've been and that's where I'm planning on taking this channel. You'll obviously still see art, like the one that I just made. Oh, here it is. But I think that's all. Thank you guys for listening. If you made it through this, then woohoo! If you didn't, I don't blame you. It's like, what, 17 minutes of rambling? I just really needed to get it out, and I might make some more videos about my experience moving back into a place that kind of, I guess, gave me the ID to begin with, and how I've been handling that. Good and bad. So if you're down to clown, then I think that's how that term is used, then stick around. You can like, subscribe, any little bit helps. My commissions are open. They're kind of pay what you want. I have social media that I will plug somewhere. I don't think I can plug it in my bio because I have under a certain amount of subscribers or something like that. I can't remember. But I'll probably like drop it in a video, or you can just look me up, Splintered Psych, basically anywhere. Ko-fi, Twitter, or I guess it's called X now. Blue Sky, I'm on there now. Toy House. And on the Toy House there will be a link to all of my other things, including my Discord server. I started my own species, so that's pretty cool. It's not very big, it's only got like 3 people in it, or 4, including myself. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and I hope you guys have the day that you deserve, because if you're not cool, then karma's probably gonna come back, because remember, it's kinda always there. Okay, bye.